I didn't hear. Okay, I think we'll probably get started. So thank you everyone for attending this evening at such short notice. So I am going to call the Heritage Committee meeting to order this Thursday, June 29th, 2023 at what I will call at 6:05 p.m. We do have an agenda before us that was circulated, as I say, albeit on short notice, but I need a motion to adopt the agenda, please. Mike, seconded by, I can't see people's hands. For some reason, the tiles are not here. So if for the proceedings going forward, if people could speak, then that'll switch my screen over so I see them. Barb, Barb, okay, perfect. All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Motion is carried. Any declarations of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Hearing none, we shall move on. Number 3, confirmation of the minutes of the May 16th, 2023 Heritage Committee meeting. Are there any errors, edits, or omissions from those minutes that anybody would like to bring up now? Seeing none, could I get a motion to adopt those minutes then? John, you're on my screen right now. Can you move it? And then I need a
I'll
seconder.
move it.
Or you'll move it, Barb? Okay.
I'll take advantage of finally being in communication. Sure.
Yes, excellent. All right, Barb moves. Can I get a seconder then?
Hey.
Mike, perfect. Thank you. All those in favor? Motion is carried. There are no delegations. We come to number 5, the unfinished business list. That'll be over to Jennifer.
Yeah, so not too much to update. The only thing that I wanted to get to ask you is if at our last meeting in May, we decided not to list the Loyalist Parkway gates because they're not going to designate them, and they're just going to end up being deleted off the list in 2 years anyways. So I just wanted to get confirmation that we can strike that section from the unfinished business list.
Well, it
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Is
I
there
mean,
generally
you actually are finishing the business by accepting that,
Mhm.
you know, there's no way to go forward with it.
Yeah. Okay. And that was it for the unfinished business list.
Okay. Any further questions for Jennifer regarding the unfinished business list? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve Jennifer's oral report? Mike, can you move that?
I will do that. Sure.
All right.
Let's move on.
Barb, you can second?
Yes.
There's
course.
limited number of us. All those in favor? Motion is carried. No reporting from council. And now we come to the meat and potatoes of our meeting this evening, number 7.1. I see Ms. Lamb is with us, and perhaps she will be leading the presentation. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for entertaining a very quick meeting on short notice. It is appreciated by staff. Staff have been working diligently on reviewing different sites, including Babcock Mill. And I can update you that since our last meeting, we have made the corrections related to the requirements related to getting that site open this summer. And there is a grand opening next Thursday at 10 a.m. For that site to be activated for the season. So we were able to accomplish what we needed. However, what we had identified during that time is that the wheelhouse at Babcock Mill has been vandalized, and the youth, I will say, because we've seen them in the community, have been accessing that space. So our goal is to, while we're in the process of continuing to review and pull together a more fulsome built heritage refurbishment plan, is to ensure that we can secure that site from future damage and vandalism, as well as make sure it's safe. So the report before you tonight identifies some corrective measures that we are recommending. It does include some pictures. In the first picture, you will see that's the telling picture where you can see that the metal sheeting has been pulled away from the building and they're getting up underneath and into the wheelhouse through that space. Once you go through the report, you'll see the pictures from inside the wheelhouse, where you can see that there's, some old plastic furniture, lawn furniture that's been left inside. There's some spray paint and vandalism on some of the pieces, as well as then there's the culvert. And the culvert, what's happened is there's metal bars that have been removed, and they're getting in through the culvert as well. So staff's recommendation on how to deal with this in the short term to ensure the safety of the site and preservation of the asset is that we use some tap cons. We do not believe the sheet metal that's there today is original, but we would use some tap cons and put it through into hopefully existing holes that are already in the concrete and be able to secure it. We would then, as requested by Andrea's team, paint those tap cons to ensure that they're flush and they look, they're not blue. Tap cons are usually blue. So we would paint those and make it look as best we can and secure it. The culvert, what we would do is there's actually no attachment that would happen. That's why there's no actual recommendation in the heritage permit, is we're going to secure it from behind with wood sheeting and be able to secure that nobody can come through that culvert into the wheelhouse as well. So the pictures are fairly telling, and we're looking for permission this evening and then hopefully recommendation to council so that we can make those corrections in a timely manner and be able to secure the site.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Lamb, and thank you for bringing that forward. Are there any questions with respect to the report and Ms. Lamb's presentation? No.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Barb.
It's related to how students from Ernestown Secondary are getting in. I happened by chance to have a conversation on Saturday with a student who was talking to me about going through not the culvert, but some kind of a tunnel, a pipe. Is that part of anything you recognize, Carrie?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, so the pipe is most likely the large round culvert that's identified in the
Okay, so that's what
pictures.
you're calling the culvert, and then the open, square-sided, straight-sided. Is that what we're going to call just like the channel, the race?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're correct, Barb.
Right.
Further questions?
Gretchen, you said you knew the students. How is it you know who they are and what their motivation is?
Is that a question to me, Mike?
That was the question to Kerry.
To
Oh,
Carrie, I think. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. We don't know specifically who it is. We have seen, for instance, we have staff who have approached the building and seen students leaving the site, but we have not been able to identify them and or been able to, I'll say, catch them in the act in the building. So we have staff presence more around the area this time of year. And with the activation of the site being Thursdays through Sundays for a good portion of the summer, 8 weeks out of the summer, that will help in having more eyes on the building and hopefully deter them. But we have not been able to actually catch them in the act and or identify them from a facial perspective.
Is this a persistent problem that's happened, or is it new?
I would assume, through you, Mr. Chair, I would assume, given what we've seen in the building, that this has been happening for quite some time. I believe over the years, from what we can tell with the sheeting, several corrections have been made. We're just trying to come up with what's the right solution moving forward to secure it. I can share with you that the wheelhouse itself does have some structural challenges to it. It is going to need an engineer review done to it as we continue to move forward for the refurbishment. We'll be looking at everything from what were the materials used on the wheelhouse originally through to how do we refurbish that inside. The roof on the inside, we have some concerns with. So there's quite a bit of investment to happen at that wheelhouse moving forward. But at this point, this is I'll say the immediate action that staff are recommending in order to protect the site today.
That's the physical prevention. Is that correct? And have you thought about video camera security?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have had contact with our IT department as it relates to everything from alarm and video surveillance at that site. It is something that we are investigating and are talking about. The Babcock Mill itself is an alarmed building. So how would we then protect that facility on the inside is a discussion. How do we run services across, get connectivity, and then have that, I'll say, CCTV type system there is something we're discussing and may come forward for budget request with council.
Okay, because it seems like this is a pastime for some locals, and a lot of the physical measures you take to make it secure might for them just to be a bigger challenge.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that very well may be. Yep.
Further comments or questions on the report? Seeing none, so the recommendation before us is that the report from the Development Services Division, June 29th, 2023, re Booth-Babcock Mill Wheelhouse Heritage Permit Application, 100 Bridge Street, Odessa, be received, and that the Heritage Committee recommend that the Heritage Permit application be brought before Council for approval, with the condition that Tapcon screws be covered or painted to match the coloring of the steel sheeting. Can I get someone to move that recommendation?
I'll move that.
Thank you very much, Mike. Seconder,
Well, why not?
Barb?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, you two. Heavy lifting today. All right. Any further comments now that the motion is on the floor? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Excellent. Motion is carried. So there's no correspondence or announcements and inquiries. No upcoming meeting dates at this point. So again,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jennifer. Go ahead.
So we may be getting another heritage permit application mid-July, and we're hoping to take that to the August 14th council meeting for recommendation. So we were hoping to have a meeting on July 31st. So that's a Monday. It's the last Monday of the month, if that would work for everybody.
Sure.
Is that okay for you, John?
Well, can we stop doing this Zoom thing? I'm not very computer illiterate with this, and it's always a problem for me to get on and understand what's going on with manipulating the program. So I'd rather have an in-person meeting.
That's quite all right, John. I think we all probably would as well. So I have no problem with that at this point. Saying that since we have enough advance notice now that we would have that meeting in person, even if it is only for the one item. If that's the wish of the committee, I'll look to Mike and Barb for that as well.
Definitely my wish, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure. Now that I have a webcam.
Yeah, now that you finally
I'm
got here,
glad
Barb.
To abandon the practice.
Yeah.
So what's the permit going to be about?
Jennifer,
So
can you
it's
give us a trailer?
so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
at our last meeting, Joe and Adam came and spoke at the meeting about the Fairfield Goodset House. They did their
Right.
pre-consultation with
okay.
us, so
That's right.
that's what it's going to be about.
Okay.
Right. Yes. Okay. So the date seems to work with those of the committee that are here present, the 31st, which is a Monday of July. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Jennifer, I'd say that's fairly clear that we would have numbers
Now, is that-
July 1st.
Okay.
Go ahead, John.
Is that connecting any time to isn't there a holiday in the beginning of August? Long weekend? Sometime, I thought in the beginning of August there might be.
Yeah. So the beginning, I think it's the 5th is Family Day
Oh, okay.
in August, but we won't run into that.
No, okay.
No.
Usually they talk about the 1st of August there, and I know the dates change all the time. No problem for me.
Okay. Oh. I think we lost our chair.
That's why I want in-person meetings.
Well, I've been finding the Wi-Fi has been having a hard time the last couple of days. I don't know if there's something to do with the smoke, like it's causing issues. So I don't see how that would work, but the power has
right,
been going out.
Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
good. All right, well, I better call for an adjournment then before you lose me again. So I'll call for a motion to adjourn. I'm gonna say John motions that, and Barb would second for the minutes. All those in favor? Motion is carried. Okay, we are adjourned.
Okay, thanks, Nathan.
Perfect.
Night.
Thanks,
Night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, you've got that, Jennifer?
I got that. Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you.